Joined by our reporter Samkele Masego, who's with the Iranian Ambassador, I believe. Let's cross to him now. Samkele?
Yes, indeed, we are with the Iranian Ambassador to South Africa, Ambassador Komi, who's going to speak to us here at the SABC on the various political and global forces that are currently taking place with the seemingly spat between Iran and the United States of America. You've seen that General Suleimani of the Iranian army was assassinated in Iraq in a drone that was commissioned by the Pentagon in the United States, by the President of the United States of America, that would be Donald Trump. I'm going to bring in Ambassador Komi. Condolences to you, Ambassador Komi. Just a quick reaction from your part as the Ambassador to South Africa. What is the current situation with regards to General Soleimani's funeral back in Iran?
Thank you very much and good afternoon. At the moment, today is the last part of the Major General Qassem Suleimani. Is going to be moved in the city of Kerman, is a city in south part of Iran. At the moment, about a few million people from the city and from the other cities gather together in the city, and they came to attend the funeral of their beloved commander and commemorating him. Unfortunately, I've heard that half an hour ago, that because of the massive population and the severe congestion of the people, a few people unfortunately died. But the funeral is going on. It's going to be done today, and I believe up to the night in Iran, in the time of Iran, going to be finished.
Would not be inhumane of you to carry on with the funeral, knowing that there have been 35 other deaths in Iran currently with the funeral or the burial of General Soleimani?
What do you mean exactly?
Would you deem it culturally correct? I'm not sure with your cultural aspects that you would continue with this burial. There's been lots of speculation that his burial or his funeral would be postponed after the death of these 35 mourners who came to his funeral today.
The managing of all the people in Iran, it was very difficult. If we could not have the cities in Iran have their funeral, all of them wants to come to this small city. Then we were to face a huge of more than 10 million people. It was impossible for us. We had to have the separate during the last few days, the separate ceremonies. We came to Iran, and Iran is very vast, to go and to the streets and reach now to his homeland.
Have you had any communication from the Iranian Parliament with regards to how you are retaliating to the United States of America after this drone attack on your general, which led to his death?
The normally for retaliating regarding this assassination by the U.S. is going to be done and make decision by the Council of the National Security Council of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Parliament is ratifying and passing the bill in this regard, but to performing and make decision in the level of the security and the military is going to be done by that council.
Has the Security Council had any contact with you with regards to the action that they may be taking?
As a matter of fact, the retaliation and the revenge is going to be done in the right time and the right place, but is not revealed for anyone at the moment because it's fully top secret in this regard. But for sure it's going to be done.
Around what time? Do you have time frames on when this will be done?
In the right time and the right place. But it's going to be done.
How do you perceive the actions of the United States of America, and in particular their President Donald Trump?
They start the action of war. We are doing our self-defense in this regard. If we could not stop the invader, it is invade again. The willing of all the people of Iran, because they lost their hero in this regard.
There have been many perspectives and views about General Soleimani. Some perceive him as a terrorist, a very dangerous man, a threat to global peace, those who may be particularly aligned to the United States of America. Yet on the other side of the global political divide, they may view General Soleimani as a good man, a man who was protecting his people. What can the world take out of the character of General Soleimani?
Could you just, one of the previous foreign minister of the European countries, I think it used to be the German, just yesterday has put a small state of himself that said General Soleimani is the over enemy, the same time friend. Enemy because do something in the Middle East, at friend because protecting the life of the foreign troops. That is, false claims by the Americans. They are dangerous. Their claim for the dangerous is not true. But their anger to General Soleimani. General Soleimani seized all their action to change the Middle East to a new one by creating the Daesh, by creating the other terrorist groups. Instead of the big and powerful countries and the independent sovereignty like Syria, Iraq, and other countries, it's supposed to break down to the small, weak countries that could be controllable by them. The attempts by the Qassem Suleimani during the last few years, by inviting him by these governments, everything is futile. All is futile attempt by the Americans.
The Americans, in particular their president, say General Soleimani is responsible for the deaths of many, particularly in the Middle East, particularly in the death of many Americans that he wounded during those actions that he may have called as the general of the army.
Yes, if you assume the Daesh are the Americans, yes. If not, just get false claim. They know it. We've got we can approve that sometimes the Americans ask him to keep the place safe, that they can move and go around. Lots of the cooperation has happened, and the General Soleimani and his troops helped the American troops to be peace, and they pass from the one region to another region or live in one country.
What could be the main reason that the United States and its President Donald Trump decided to have that drone attack on General Soleimani? Could there be other sinister motives, such as getting their hands on the crude oil in Iran?
The main reason that the Americans withdraw from the JCPOA and also put the sanction against Iran is not for the sanction. They know that Iran will never ever diverting to have the bomb. The main reason from the economic points of view is the controlling the Middle East. Why controlling Middle East? Controlling the energy. If anyone can control the energy of the Middle East, it controls the world. It's the sole way to facing with its main potentials economy, like China, the other countries. If you want to control the Middle East, Iran must be controlled. It is the reason.
Ambassador, my last question to you. NATO and the European Union, whom are allies of the President of America, are meeting in Brussels. What would you expect to be the outcome of these particular meetings, and what voice would you want to be heard from your perspective in this meeting?
The Europeans showed that in some fields they are not very sincere. For example, about the JCPOA, they promised to compensate withdrawal of the Trump from the JCPOA, but unfortunately it did not. What is important for us? It is our sovereignty. It is our self-defense. We will do it for sure.
That was the ambassador of Iran to South Africa. I'm just going to ask my colleagues just to show you a picture of General Suleimani here in his office, as well as they pay their last respects to him, as he's saying that his funeral is proceeding in Iran and that it will not be postponed, as with the deaths of those 35 mourners who came to his funeral, and saying that in due time, they will retaliate to the Americans after that hit on their General Soleimani, which led to his death in Iraq.
Samkele, thanks very much indeed. That's Samkele Maseko speaking to the Iranian ambassador here in South Africa.